So let's get ready to learn, then earn. Today, I'm going to be going over my dividends received for the month of August, as well as year to date, and taking a look at some headlines and articles that I've seen recently related to Amazon as well as Microsoft. Let's get started by taking a look at my dividends received for the month of August. So I've received dividend payouts from Main Street Capital, Realty Income, SPHD, and a small one from ticker symbol PR that I have listed here. Now, if you've been watching me for a while, you've seen me on my journey to my first 100 shares, and I have surpassed that with my positions in Realty Income, SPHD, Main Street Capital, and SCHD, which doesn't pay out a dividend this month, but we'll get into that. So, my highest dividend for this month is coming from Realty Income, followed by Apple, for a total of $56.44. And now taking a look at what I've been tracking year to date, and we are up to $544.36, with my largest dividends coming from, again, Realty Income, Main Street Capital, and Apple, as well as VO and VTI. So let's take a look at my main dividend focused investments. They are Realty Income, which is the monthly paying dividend company. You get paid every single month like clockwork. This was an easy choice for me to add to my portfolio. So you get the dividend, not necessarily the share appreciation, but I have a mix of things, and we'll get further into that. Also, I have Main Street Capital. It is one of my favorite business development companies. They contribute solid dividends. And for those of you that are new, I have three monthly paying dividend companies in my portfolio, and that is Realty Income, Main Street Capital, and SPHD. When it comes to Main Street Capital, it's a great pick for those who are looking to create consistent income in their portfolios, right along with Realty Income. So, when it comes to these four investments that, as I said, were my main focus when building my initial dividend paying portfolio, I am now up to 190 shares. We have 11 on SCHD, 37 on Main Street Capital, 38 on SPHD, and a little over 104 shares on Realty Income. So let's take a look at what is SPHD. It is Invesco's S&P 500 high dividend, low volatility ETF. So, a choice that gives me that diversification as well as stability. It has 51 holdings and provides broad exposure to lots of different sectors, including staples, utilities, real estate, healthcare. SPHD is up year to date 16.59%, while Main Street Capital is up 15.03%. Year to date, Realty Income is up 7.38% year to date. And they've been in the headlines recently for having some favorable reports related to their price targets being increased. And SCHD, which does not pay out a dividend this month, year to date, that is up 9.65%. And also, let's take a quick look at Apple, which did pay out a dividend this month. Year to date, Apple's up 16.38%. Now, it does not pay the highest dividends, and the dividend is not the reason why I ever invested into Apple, but it's nice to get that extra bit of incentive of receiving that dividend. It's been consistent. And when you're dealing with blue chip stocks like Apple, it's not just about the dividend, but also the potential for long term growth. As I said, Apple's business is solid, and I would have it in my portfolio even if they didn't pay a dividend. Like other choices that I've added, like Meta and Google and Microsoft, before they were paying dividends. So make sure to leave me a comment and let me know what dividends you received for the month of August. We'll also be touching on some things that led me to add the positions that I have in my portfolio. But now, on to a headline that I saw concerning Amazon. Amazon has been dominating the news recently, and a lot of folks are wondering whether the company will ever pay a dividend. According to this article, there's no plan in sight. And while this may sound like bad news for dividend investors, it's not necessarily a deal breaker. It's definitely not a deal breaker for me. So, as I was saying, unlike Alphabet and Meta, which have paid out dividends in 2024, Amazon is not expected to jump on board with what they've been doing. Why is that? Because Amazon is reinvesting all of its profits into growth instead of paying dividends. They're focused on expanding cloud services, AI, and other initiatives. So, if you hold Amazon in your portfolio like I do, you're in it for the long term, capital appreciation rather than the passive income. So let me know your thoughts. Are you okay with that? I know I see Amazon as a powerhouse when it comes to the position that they have gained when it comes to shopping, as well as not just focusing on that, but making sure to broaden the different things that they have their hands in, not just shipping and being that leader when it comes to getting your products to you fast as comparison to Walmart or Target. But this is just the point of view that this article is sharing. Just because they don't pay a dividend doesn't mean they never will. We know that many of the largest companies did not start off paying a dividend, but as they matured and potentially found fewer places for them to reinvest, they were able to incorporate that and share the profits with the shareholders. Drop me a comment and let me know, are you okay with investing into Amazon even though they do not pay a dividend? Now let's take a look at a headline I saw concerning Microsoft this week. Microsoft announces a 60 billion buyback and 10% dividend hike. They are on the other end of the spectrum. Microsoft just made this huge announcement. So, according to this article, this signals Microsoft's commitment to returning value to its shareholders. Microsoft's dividend isn't massive, but it's reliable and growing over time. And the buyback, it reduces the number of outstanding shares, which means your share of the company gets bigger without you doing anything. This is why I love holding on to big, stable companies like Microsoft and just like Apple. Not a huge dividend yield, but over time, you get both the income as well as the share appreciation. So, in building my portfolios, I'm not just focused on dividends, I do a mix of everything dividends, growth, crypto, and of course, having cash on hand to continue building up my positions, as well as for options trades or even regular trades that I want to get into. So, with the mix of things that I add to my portfolio, I'm focusing on diversification, looking for stability in the companies like I've mentioned, Realty Income, as well as Microsoft and Apple. And as I'm going through this process, whether it's really a growth stock or a dividend stock, I am reinvesting my dividends, basically pairing the drip so that I can compound my returns. And I've been okay with just starting small and being consistent. For example, when it comes to Microsoft, I currently only have 1.67 shares in my portfolio. And I've gotten to just this one share so far, $10 at a time. You see, each one of these little green triangles here is a $10 investment that I've made. I was a part of a challenge recently, 50 days straight, the tech stock challenge that Keenan Grace had going on. And that's what gave me my first start to having Microsoft in my portfolio. So remember, dividend investing is about the long game. You are not going to get rich overnight on any type of investing. But for those of us that are receiving dividends, we have to just let them continue to grow over time by us staying consistent with our investing as well as reinvesting those dividends while we're still in that building phase. And in time, I'm sure I'll be thanking myself for sticking with it. So, with everything that I'm doing, I just take it as another step towards my goal of financial freedom. After a few years, I'm really starting to see the results, even on the positions where I was strictly investing small amounts consistently. So that's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, check out my referral links for investment sites that I use like Webull and Moomoo. Make sure to share in the comments your favorite dividend paying investment that you have in your portfolio. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye.